Anyways, we're gonna move on and let's call on from Star Studio. We have Tina Bonifacio.
Hi David, we've seen so much of you in the last week.
Yeah.
Earlier you mentioned that you've been here nearly a month, and while you've been here,
Over a month.
over a month, while you've been here, Whitney Houston passed.
Yes.
I remember that when you were younger, about 11 or 12, you sang one of her songs at a firefighters benefit for the 9/11 victims. Seeing as how you've done that, so you have a little connection to her somehow. Can we ask you for a reaction to her death?
Yeah, actually, what's funny is right before, it is kind of fun. It is kind of funny that you say that because right before I was here, I was watching Whitney videos just to kind of pay tribute to her, remembering her. The last one I just watched was her rendition of her the Star Spangled Banner, and just like I'll always love you, greatest love of all, things like that. She's such a talent and definitely one of my inspirations in music, especially when I was younger. When I was first getting into music, she was one of my early inspirations because she was one of the artists that my mom listened to a lot. One of the first songs I learned was I Will Always Love You when I had my high voice back then. I still have a high voice, but not nearly as high as back then. And the first song I sang in front of like an open crowd of audience was I Will Always Love You, and it was a memorable experience for me. It's one of the greatest songs I think ever written, and one of the greatest recordings. I think she's one of the most influential people in the world with her music, her voice, and she's impacted so many singers and so many people's lives, and she will be greatly missed, but she will always be remembered.
And thank you, David. And I'd like to ask, you mentioned about being really scared during that first competition you did. And I'm sure through the years you've learned so much about dealing with stage fright, being in front of audiences. What can you tell all those aspiring, wannabe singers out there who are afraid of even stepping on the stage and opening their mouth to sing?
I think one thing is that sometimes, that feeling, at least for me, it never really goes away. You just learn how to cope with it. The hardest thing is to take those first few steps. It's not even the first step. You have to do it a couple of times of getting over that fear. You have to step through that fear and just go onto the stage and perform anyway. And it's not like, okay, you only have to do it once and it's never there anymore. It's gonna keep coming. You just have to get the hang of learning how to work through those nerves and find a way to still, once you get over that hump, then you're able to get into the song and get into the performance. Even last night at Opie and Regine's concert, those nerves are there, but you still, it's never gone away. Even up to last night, it's still there, but you just find a way of dealing with it. And there are going to be a lot of times when it's not there. You feel very comfortable on the stage. It's like you're in control of the stage almost, but it's just a process. You just have to be willing to have to deal with those nerves because they're going to be there.
Thank you.
Okay, and next maybe call on Julian Mauricio. Come and join us.
Hi, David.
Hi.
Hi. You mentioned earlier that during the recording of this album, you did the best you could with what you had, referring to time, right? The time you had to record. I remember the last time you worked on an album, The Other Side of Down, you mentioned that you pushed back the release because some of the songs you weren't too happy about the quality of the production. Knowing that you can be quite a stickler as far as the songs and the production are concerned, how did you cope with not having enough time to really sink your teeth into the recording of this album?
I think it's just a matter of you could either not do it. It's like you could either do it in this short amount of time or not do it at all. So I felt like, okay, which one would I prefer? Which one do I know my fans would appreciate more? And so it's like, okay, they'd appreciate having something, especially something like this. It's very different, especially for the Filipino and Asian fans. It would be such a gift to give to them after such a wonderful stay here. And so that's where I was like, okay, let's do it. And in terms of from the last album that I did do, I think it also shows just how much it just kind of for me helps me realize how much I've grown, how I'm able to make decisions a lot faster, how I've been able to learn what I do want and what I don't want, being able to speak up more. On that, the other side of down, it was very difficult because I was first learning how to speak up for myself. It was very challenging trying to just to get the nerves to say something, to give my opinion. It was so scary to give my opinion. And even just in the last year up to this point, now I'm able to express very much, not just my opinion, but my ideas on what I would like to be done and how I would like it to be done. And just being able to move at a faster pace to get more done. It's a very good feeling. It's a very accomplished, I don't know what I'm looking for, but a good feeling to know that I've grown that much in the last year.
When you did speak up during the recording of this album, when you did speak up, did you ever clash with Jimmy or Jay?
We had our own opinions about things, but they're very easy to work with. They're very good listeners. If I did have an opinion on something, they're just like, okay. They would, if Jimmy felt, okay, well, we should. If he's trying something and I speak up and I'm like, I'm not sure, why don't we try this, or I like that, he would give his opinion back, but very easy to work with. It was really great getting to work.
Lastly, you did so well singing in Tagalog with Nandito Ako. Why not record more Tagalog songs for this album?
Just not enough time, unfortunately. I wanted to. There are some Tagalog songs that I was like, oh, that'd be nice, but because of time, being able to just sing them all in English was much easier and a lot less stressful to do, time-wise.
Like which Tagalog songs did you hear and say, hey, that'd probably be good?
And there was one, Ikaw Lang, I really liked, and then I can't pronounce the other ones without looking at them. But there's some other ones that I really liked. I mean, who knows? Maybe down the road sometime.
After 2 years.
Yeah, you never know. But maybe when I have more time, it'd be interesting to be able to record more.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And next up we have Mark Serbo to give his set of questions.
Hi, David. Besides the album that's coming out, after you're going to the mission, right? You don't have plans for that for the next 2 years. I know a lot of questions have been asked already. So I was thinking if asking you what's next for David after that. After 2 years.
After 2 years, I guess we'll have to wait and see. So many things change. I already do have some things that I'm hoping to already start working on. But, I mean, just like this experience, for example, I didn't know I was going to do it.
Actually, I really praise about you giving up everything for God and
Thank you.
and that's basically it. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very